Alright guys, this is the last lesson for 6th grade science. So make sure again you're putting your name on every single page that you turn in. We have a whole bucket of no-name papers and they're a lot of work and we sure do hate to not give you credit for it. Okay, so we're talking about ecosystems. We're going to match the following terms and their definition. I'm going to read the terms, I'm going to read the definitions, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So we've got organism, abiotic, population, biotic, community, and ecosystem. So this is what I would do. So I would put my abiotic and my biotic together. Did I spell it wrong? I spelled it wrong. Sorry, there's no I there. So my abiotic is non-living. And my biotic is living, right? And then I would put the other ones in order the way they come. Which way do they go? It starts with an organism. And then it's a population. They're actually in order here. Population. Community. And ecosystem. See, they already kind of have those in order for you. So this should help you a lot. So the first one is non-living factors in an environment do not come from living organisms. We already wrote what that is. The next one is living factors in the environment related to, produced by, or caused by living organisms. The next one is all of the population sharing a specific region. So if you're going down, it's going to be the next one down from population, right? The living and non-living components of an environment. So that would be everything in an environment. A living thing that can function on its own. Like we are an organism, right? A plant is an organism. All of the members of a species living in a particular area at a particular time. So just one type, like a bunch of cats. Okay. Alright, biotic versus abiotic. This should be easy as well. If you use these definitions, that should help you. I'm going to do like 3 of them to show what they... Okay, let's see. It says creative Venn diagram. Okay, well, we can use the one here. That's fine. Sort the words into one of the sections. The area that overlaps will be for items that are neither biotic or abiotic. So is it alive or is it dead? And then if we don't know, we can put it right here. Alright. So grass, of course, is going to be biotic. Soil, abiotic. Unless you're counting the nutrients in the soil. But we're not going to get that deep, okay? Alright, so then, I guess the next, you know what, this will help a lot. The fire one, we're going to put that here in the middle. It's not really alive and it's not really dead. So there you go. Okay, now you get to do the rest. We got water, air, frogs, erosion, producers, predator and prey, biome, rocks, consumers, precipitation, competition, light, trees, mushrooms, ants, seashell, wooden toothpick, and an ice cube. Alright, so that should be pretty easy. If you can't fit it on here, you write like humongous, like, you know, gargantuan handwriting, then do it on a piece of paper. Okay? Alright, so we're going to go through here, and I think we have this is just reviewing here. I'm just going to read it to you. What is an ecosystem? Imagine you visit a park, you sit on the grass in the warm sunshine. You watch a squirrel run down a tree trunk and chew an acorn. Robin pulls an earthworm from the soil. Traveling in a line, the ants carry bits of dead insects to their underground nest. A breeze blows dandelion seeds through the air. These interactions are just a few of the many that can happen in an ecosystem such as a park. An ecosystem is all the living things and non-living things in a given area. There are many kinds of ecosystems on Earth, including forests, deserts, grasslands, rivers, beaches, and coral reefs. Ecosystems that have similar climates and contain similar types of plants are grouped together into biomes. For example, the tropical rainforest biome includes ecosystems full of lush plant growth located near the equator in places where rainfall averages 200 centimeters per year and the temperature averages 25 degrees Celsius. I happen to live near a lush tropical rainforest when I lived in Puerto Rico, and it was green all year round and hot. Well, not hot, but nice, warm, and it was pretty cool. It did get a lot of rain. Abiotic factors. The non-living parts of the ecosystem are called abiotic factors. They include sunlight, temperature, air, water, and soil. That might help you with some of this stuff over here if you weren't sure. Abiotic factors provide many of the resources organisms need for survival and reproduction. Sunlight and temperature. Sunlight is essential for almost all life on Earth. It supplies the energy for photosynthesis, the chemical reactions that produce sugars and occur in most plants and some bacteria and protists. Sunlight also provides warmth. An ecosystem's temperature depends on part of the amount of sunlight it receives. In some ecosystems, such as hot, dry deserts, temperatures can be around 49 degrees Celsius during the day, that's 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and below freezing at night. Atmosphere. The gases in Earth's atmosphere include nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Nitrogen is needed for plant growth. Some bacteria in the soil take nitrogen from the air and convert it to a form that plants use. Oxygen is needed by most organisms for cellular respiration, the process that releases energy into cells. Air also contains carbon dioxide that is needed for photosynthesis. Water. Without any water, life would not be possible. Water is required for all the life processes that take place inside the cells, including cellular respiration, digestion, and photosynthesis. The stream ecosystem can support many forms of life because water is plentiful. Areas with little water support fewer organisms. Soil. If you've ever planted a garden, you may not know about the importance of soil for healthy plants. Soil contains a mixture of living and non-living things. The biotic part of soil is humus, the decayed remains of plants, animals, bacteria, and other organisms. Deserts have thin soil with little humus. Forest soils usually are thick and fertile with a higher humus content. Abiotic factors include mineral and particles of rock, sand, and clay. Many animals, including gophers, insects, and earthworms, make their homes in soil. Their tunnels help move water and air through the soil. Biotic factors. Living or once living things in an ecosystem are called biotic factors. They include all living organisms. Biotic factors also include the remains of dead organisms such as fallen leaves or decayed plant and matter in soil. Species are adapted to the abiotic and biotic factors of the ecosystem in which they live. Algae, fungi, and mosses live in moist ecosystems such as forests, ponds, and oceans. Many cactus species can survive in a desert because they have thick stems that can hold stored water. Gophers live in burrows underground. They have large front claws for digging and strong teeth for loosening soil and chewing plant roots. Habitats. Every organism in an ecosystem has its own place to live. A habitat is a place within an ecosystem that provides food, water, shelter, and other biotic and abiotic factors that an organism needs to survive and reproduce. So not your Xbox or your PlayStation. No, the things you actually need, like food and water. Organisms have a variety of habitats. For example, house martins, a type of bird, sometimes live in meadows or grasslands, but some find habitat under the edges of roofs. Crickets live in damp, dark places with plenty of plant material and fungi to eat. Skunks live in areas where they can find food such as mice, insects, eggs, and fruit. During the day, skunks take shelter near their food supply in hollow logs, under brush piles, and underneath buildings. Plants have their own habitats too. You have read the cacti live in the desert habitats. The wood sorrel is a plant species that grows in deep shade beneath trees. When biotic or abiotic factors in an ecosystem change, the habitats can change or disappear. A wildfire quickly can destroy the habitats of thousands of animals that live in the forest or grasslands. Erosion or flooding can wash away soil, destroying plant habitats. Levels of organization. An individual living thing is called an organism. A population is all the organisms of the same species that live in the same area at the same time. For example, all the dandelions growing in a field form a population. All the ants in that field make up another population. All the populations living in the same area in the same time form a community. Community combined with all the abiotic factors in the same area forms an ecosystem. The populations that make up the community interact in the ecosystem. And that is it for 6th grade science. You'll be going on to 7th.